Alright, I want to start this video off by saying that growing up, I was never really the type of person to ever want to get involved in anything school related. To me, school was school, and that's where it stayed. It's like an elementary version of Las Vegas, if you know what I mean. No after school sports, no clubs. No, not having it. But in 3rd grade, there was like this huge shift in the world for me. There was a brief time, like super brief, like speedo brief, in which I decided that I wanted to do something. And back then, the cool thing to do was to join student council. It was like an added prestige to your reputation.
Well, hello there, Eric. How was your student council meeting today?
I'm not in student council.
Oh, so you're one of those kind of people. Excuse me, I need to go talk with Mrs. Collins about the new blacktop request I put in for the playground. Have fun doing whatever it is that you do.
The line must be drawn here, and I will finally be someone. I'm gonna have friends out the yin-yang. I'm gonna be hitting up them after-school clubs. People are gonna be like, "Oh, Eric, I thought you weren't into that kind of thing." I'm like, man, I ain't got a clue what you talking about. I'm all up in your grill. The meetings were every Tuesday or every other Tuesday, like 7:30 in the morning before school. And when the first meeting rolled around, I had that nervous, excited, first day of school feeling going on. Somehow, some way, I miraculously got up and I made it there. Come to find out, there's actually different groups that are headed by different teachers. At this point, it became clear to me how or why some kids just didn't know whether or not I was in student council. It was very easy to assume that someone was part of a different group. You know what I mean? The particular group that I was assigned to had absolutely no one that I knew, except maybe like one person, and I didn't even know them very well. We were all supposed to be doing some sort of crafts for some sort of event, and no one wanted to talk to me, no one wanted to sit by me, no one wanted to even affiliate with me. Everyone there had been in student council for like at least a year or two and seemed to kind of already be best friends. It was kind of like when you make a new friend and then they introduce you to their already established group of friends, and you try to impress them with your cool bike tricks and the fact that you can do roundhouses like Chuck Norris, but they just don't catch the bait and they end up giving your new friend an ultimatum. Either he goes or we go. Capiche? Needless to say, I felt scared, completely alone, and totally just out of touch with the whole thing. What I should have done... Hi, I'm Eric, and I'm from Mrs. White's class. What's your name?
Is it true that her husband makes drugs?
And what I actually did.
Yeah, I'm done.
Beyond that point, as far as I was concerned, that group never existed. Hey, Eric, are you in student council? Student what? Man, I ain't got a clue what you talking about. Every morning after that, I'd go to school, and like everyone else, first thing in the morning, we'd listen to what the school referred to as the morning announcements. Student council members, mostly on a voluntary basis, read announcements that were relevant to the school into a microphone that was broadcasted live throughout the entire school. And then the principal would get on there for a minute or two, trying to give us all an encouraging message. Each time that I heard these, it was like a daily reminder to me. I am so glad I left when I did. It was done. It was over. I would never have to deal with anything student council related ever again. But there was a small problem. My name was still enrolled, and I was still officially part of the group. No expunging, no takebacks. So like 6 months after I quit, I got this little notice in my little designated cubby in the classroom. And the notice explains how all student council members must read the morning announcements at least once throughout the school year, and that I haven't done it yet. So basically for a whole week, I was assigned to read a script into a microphone that was broadcasted through the intercom of every single classroom of every single grade in the entire school. What? We were one of, if not the biggest school in the district at the time, if memory serves me correctly at least. Needless to say, yippee. I actually wouldn't have much of a problem doing something like this today. As a matter of fact, I'd quite enjoy it. But as a child of 7 or 8 years old, this can be a very daunting experience, especially if you're somewhat shy. Which I was, very, deathly. I remember being slightly less nervous when I read further down on the notice that I fortunately was assigned a partner. And my partner just so happened to be a girl that I sat next to in class a previous year. Now, not all presenters of the morning announcements got a partner, so I considered myself lucky.
You're about not to get lucky.
On the first day of announcing the mints, I go into the little room with my jitters and sweaty palms, and I see the microphone sitting next to the script. I just about have a nervous breakdown. It also didn't help the situation that this room was basically an extension to the principal's office. Yeah. So as I wait for my partner to arrive, I start to kind of read over the script a little bit in my head. And as odd as it seems, I actually wasn't doing it to prepare. I was just so nervous that I needed something to do. And they didn't allow chewing gum. So the principal comes in after a few minutes, and she tells me that my partner is sick today and won't be coming to school. And then the principal continues on saying that she'll be a fill-in, but she needs to go take care of something really quick and she'll be right back. And to start without her after the bell rings. So the bell rings, I flip on the mic. Showtime.
Good morning. My name is Eric, and I'll be doing the announcements today, or I'll be reading the,
So I ramble on a couple of minutes before I remember that I actually have a script in the palm of my hands to read from. Before I get a real chance to look at it, the principal comes back, pokes her head in the room, and starts trying to whisper things to me.
PTA meeting.
the PE teacher.
No, PTA. PTA meeting.
The pita with meat in it.
No, PTA. PTA. Friday.
Oh, the PTA meeting. Yeah, there's gonna be one of those on Friday, I think.
The lunch menu.
The what?
The lunch menu.
The what?
Lunch.
Oh, yeah, for lunch today. Let me see here. We're gonna have, let's see here. It looks like you're gonna have your choice of nachos or barbecue ribets.
That's when the principal gently yanks the microphone out of my hands, in the most polite way that she possibly can given the circumstance, and then goes on her daily spiel. It isn't until afterwards, and I'm walking through the empty halls to my classroom, that it hits me right in the face. The extremely disturbing thought that every single person in the school, including my classmates, in which I spend all of my day with pretty much, just heard what happened. So at this point, I'm about ready to do two things. One, immediately poo my pants. Two, run to the bathroom, lock myself in a stall, clean out my britches, stay in there and hope that everybody thinks that that stall is out of order for the rest of the day. But somehow, some way, I fight it and I just go to class. I walk in and it starts immediately.
Nice going, Eric. What are you gonna have for lunch today? Nachos or barbecue ribette?
My partner somehow missed every single day. She was always either sick, late to school, or just flat out went straight to the classroom and just acted like she didn't need to be anywhere in particular. Just straight up ignoring the whole thing and hoping no one would notice.
So, Sally, where were you this morning?
What do you mean?
The morning announcements?
Huh?
You were supposed to do the morning announcements with me today?
I is confused.
You get straight A's and are on the honor roll. You can play this dumb act all day until you're blue in the face. You ain't fooling me, missy. But the rules were, once your name was scheduled, regardless of if you do it or not, it counted in the records. So she completely got out of doing it. Yeah. Thankfully, by the end of the week, I eventually got a little bit better at it and was actually able to ad-lib a little bit.
Good morning, elementary school. My name is Eric, and these are your morning announcements. Today, you'll be able to get yourself set up with a nice beef patty with cheese, or toss that American caviar aside and indulge yourself in a nice lukewarm Oriental stir fry made with governmental grade white rice topped with cafeteria grade mystery meat and genetically modified veggies. Eat up to your heart's content, because this is your school. We wouldn't feed you anything that's unhealthy for you. Have a great day.
Okay, maybe not so much. But anyway, when it was all said and done, when I think back on this experience, I think about just how important it really is that when you make a commitment, it is absolutely vital that you follow through. Otherwise, there are at least two things that will happen to you. One, it will only be a matter of time before you establish yourself as a non-trustworthy person, a flake. And when people don't trust you, that's going to cause you a serious amount of problems in your life, in more than one way and on more than one level. And two, somehow, some way, you gonna get owned. It is completely inevitable that you're setting yourself up for some serious, I mean serious, personal embarrassment later on. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's just a matter of time before it happens. If you're not going to put 100% into a commitment that you've made, don't even bother making the promise to begin with. When you've made a liar out of yourself, it takes a very long time to repair, if it's even repairable at all. And it also makes people look at you and say,
"Oh, so you're one of those kind of people."